Last week, we saw Pope John Paul II win 20-6 over the Ardmore Tigers to improve to 1-0. This week was a little bit different as we fall to Madison Academy 27-0. Coach Hess, that was a tough one.
It was, but I mean, there are a lot of good things we could take from this, and one of the major points that we talk about, and I think we talked about it last week, is that no matter what the score, you continue to play with effort, play with enthusiasm, and never give up. And I think those guys did that. Actually, I think we got better in the second half. Because if you look at the second half, they only scored 7 points. So without a few miscues, we had the fake punt, it was a good call. Unfortunately, according to the rules, you have to have a number, a tight end number on it. And we didn't have that, so that's coaching fault. But the play worked, it gave us some momentum, and maybe that may have changed the game. Maybe we scored and it goes in instead of 20-0, it's 20-7. Now we've got the momentum on our side. But the best thing what they did is they never gave up, they never quit, they kept playing hard, and that sets a tradition of excellence for our program, and not just this year, but hopefully for the future.
Speaking of their running backs, they had 200 yards in the first half. What made it difficult?
Simply is they looked at our defense. We were in a 4-3 defense, and talking to Shannon Wimberly, the head coach over there, he just said they were pounding it on the inside through the 1, 2, 3, and 4 holes. They were doubling our defensive tackle and pulling another guard from the other side. So they were opening the holes, but their running backs were running hard. And although we were hitting, our issue was we weren't locking up and making the tackle. We could hit them and fall off. And so that gave them, from the first point of contact, you hit them and give them 3 yards. Now you're giving them 5 to 10 yards. And so that was one of our Achilles heels. We changed the defense in the second half, and which helped us. As you can see, the second half was completely different from the first half. Again, the guys never gave up. They played hard, and their tackling got a lot better.
Take us through what happened through that fake punt.
Fake punt. So we're on the sidelines. It was a 5-yard penalty. Now instead of 4th and 10 or 11, it's 4th and 4 or 5. We were going to call what we call a freeze play, where we get down there, we snap it, and we do the long count down, set, hut, 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 and we hope they go offside. But we weren't sure if we were far enough. What we look at, we have a fake punt set up where we have for the tight end, the wide receiver, or a run by the running back. And what we do is we call a certain number with a certain letter, and it designates that individual. We saw that the linebackers moved up, and as they moved up, we yell out to the kicker who knows that the play. So he yells it out. He yells out the number in the play. We called it out. The kids played it, heard it. We've been practicing it, and they executed it perfectly. The problem was that according to the Alabama High School Athletic Association rules, is when you have an eligible receiver, he must have an eligible number. And 60s are not eligible, along with 50s. So that was my fault. But it was kind of spur of the moment. And if we were to run the fake punt, we have to notify the referee. If we notify the referee that number 68 could be eligible on a fake punt, they're aware of it. So that was a coaching mistake. But the plain simple fact is they executed perfectly. And these guys, one thing they are is they're coachable, they're quick learners, and the best thing they did that was play with enthusiasm.
So you guys took a lot away from this loss. What can we do next week to improve our game at Madison?
Well, one of the things here is that when we play a team like Madison Academy, they're very disciplined, they're solid in fundamentals. So I don't think we'll play a better team in that aspect. I don't know if we'll play a more talented team. We may not. But the thing we're getting from them is that they're not going to make a lot of mistakes. They're going to execute properly, and actually they're close to perfect on their execution.
Hey
now,
guys, sorry.
Do I know that Addison will do that? All I do know is that Addison is an excellent football team. They go to the playoffs every year or every other year. So they may be the same as Madison Academy. What do we take from this? Well, we take from the fact that we never gave up. We continue to learn. And I think every game, if you look at our first game, we get better as we play. So 2 games getting better is what we look for, what we tell these guys to do. Is we want them to continue to get better, and as the season progresses, we become a better football team.
Now that you play Madison Academy, you know their style. What's going to change before you guys play them again at the end of the season?
I don't know how much will change. What will change is we'll become a better football team. I know that they'll be a better football team as all teams grow, but our learning curve will be exponential versus theirs because we have such a young, inexperienced football team. Now, is that good? It just depends. We can coach these guys the way we want them to, so we're teaching them what we want to teach them. So their improvement from the first game to the second game continues in that aspect. I think it'll be a whole nother ball game. Our last game of the season, which is Madison Academy.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Nice job.